April 22nd, 23rd, 2020. This is Crypto and Coffee, your morning jolt of financial markets. We talk about crypto, we talk about stocks, commodities, oil, precious metals, real estate, everything money. It's a very interesting time to be alive. It's who knows what day it is as far as the quarantine goes. How long have you been quarantining? I feel like I've been in quarantine since last September. A lot of solitude, a lot of time alone, just to dive deep into the catacombs of my subconscious, a lot of studying, and now just watching it all unfold. It's such a crazy time to be alive. Such a crazy time, just read an article. We'll get into all the jobs that have been created since 2008 have now been wiped out. It's a record high unemployment. They're now looking at passing a bill talking about sending each person $2,000 a month for the next 6 months. So it's a crazy time to be alive. Oil hit its lowest price in history, -$50. And the stock market barely reacts. The US's budget deficit is going to double what it was last year. And that's just right now. It's a crazy time to be alive. And so my intention with this show is to try to help you navigate that, provide you with information. I've been studying this stuff for 14 years now. 14 years I've been studying this market. I've seen what we're going through right now. I've lived through 2008. I've gone through a lot when it comes to financial markets. And I want to help you take off exponentially so you don't have to go through the learning curve that I went through and that I've gone through. Because it's been a hell of a ride. But we're here and now, doing good. Life is better than ever. I'm very grateful. And now I just want to pass that information over to you. I want to help people wake up. And I think the best way to wake up is by taking control of your finances. Okay? Creating financial freedom. Creating financial freedom really isn't hard. You have to have a plan. You have to have a strategy. You have to execute on that. But it doesn't have to be hard. You don't have to have millions of dollars sitting in a bank account or an investment account. You don't have to have that, okay? But you do have to have a plan. And most people don't have a plan because they don't think they can accomplish a plan in the first place, okay? So happy Thursday. Hope you're having a great day. Let's jump right into this stuff because, man, it's a wild day today. That is for sure in these markets. Oh, my gosh. But before we really jump in, again, if you're brand new to Bitcoin, to crypto, you've heard about it, you're interested, you're curious, you want to learn more, go to my website, galactictrust.com. Since 2017, I've been helping educate people about the crypto digital asset space. A lot of free information on there, so go check it out. Also, you can get a copy of my free book, cryptoinvestorsecrets.com. Grab that free book. There's also a video series. It's really good information. It's all totally free. Go check it out. Moving on to mirror trading. Also, if you want to learn how to get up to 1% paid out daily on your Bitcoin, check out mirror trading. If you want to learn more, be sure to message me. You can message me on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram. If you're watching this video, get a hold of me. If you want to learn how to make up to 1% or more, it's really infinite upside, but we've been averaging anywhere from 0.5% to 1% every single day on your Bitcoin. So check that out. Moving into the crypto market, crypto is really taking off strongly today. Bitcoin up 6% in the last 24 hours. Coming in at $7,500. Yesterday we were at $7,000. Now we're up to 7,500. Ethereum up 3.7%, sitting at $189, and rounding the top three, XRP up 3.5% at 19.5 cents. So this market moves fast. I mean, you're up 6% in Bitcoin in the last 24 hours. And even more so in the last 8 weeks since this, since we hit the lows of $3,900 back on March 13th. Moving into the chart, Bitcoin, here's that candle we were looking for, either to that break up to the upside or a break down to the downside. Here's a big, nice candle. Will it maintain? Will we come back down? Again, I just don't think that there's enough. I think there's a lot more panic and fear and uncertainty in the market to really have this thing explode. I think when people start getting more stimulus checks, they go back to work. Again, if this $2,000 a month thing passes, you could see an influx of money. We've got the halving event that's happening in 18 days. So a lot of stuff could happen. David, what is up, dude? What's up, David? Dustin, man, my dog right there, dude. Road dog right there, dog. Man, good stuff going on. But again, I personally, and man, it's hard, you know, because right now today, I got cash on the side and I want to buy Bitcoin, but man, something just tells me we are not out of the woods when it comes to the stock market, when it comes to this virus thing. I don't think we're out of the woods. I think people are going to go back to work. Then they're going to create an even bigger panic. We've seen this is the first wave. There's a second wave coming, and that second wave is even bigger, because if they're talking about sending you $2,000 a month for the next 6 months, they've got to believe that things are not as good as they're putting out in the media. So I could see another breakdown before the halving, and then boom, a pop up to the upside. Because man, I watched a great video by Data Dash this morning. In fact, I'm gonna link that in the, holy cow, talking about the halving. It's coming up 18 days away. When I got into Bitcoin, it was just after the last halving event. And so this is be my second ride through, and I mean, this is where big money's made, when the halving reward is cut in half. It's simple supply and demand. So watch that video by Data Dash, where he really lays out how the halving works in a very logical way. So very interesting stuff when it comes to Bitcoin news. I just saw something really cool I wanted to talk about. Let's just go to typical. Oh, it was right there. Ooh, I didn't see this just 7 minutes ago. Institutional investment builds in Q1, Q1 2020. Sentiment toward crypto funds changing as Grayscale reveals it holds 1.7% of all Bitcoin in circulation. Institutional investors seem to be gaining more confidence in Bitcoin. That's a lot. It's a lot of Bitcoin. Next halving to have her to hold right here. I mean, now it's, since I've read this, I mean, when I read it this morning, we were at like 7,200. Now we're at 7,500. So it talks about, really, are we going to maintain this 7,500 range we're at right now and keep moving to the upside, or break down? I just don't know if there's enough momentum and enough positive energy in the market to move it upwards. I could be totally wrong. But I hope that I'm right, because I want to get in at 5,700. A sudden flashpoint ignites for Bitcoin markets, propelling the cryptocurrency beyond 7,200 to top out closer to 7,800. Bitcoin surged above key resistant levels on April 23rd as bulls gained control and propelled markets 10% higher. Bitcoin price jumped $700 in hours. Data from Coin360 and Cointelegraph markets show Bitcoin USD pair gaining $700 during Thursday trading, topping out at 77.60 before reversing lower. Volatility was high at press time in light of the swift advance, Bitcoin circling 75.20. So, I mean, we've been at, you look at even in the weekly chart every week, I mean, we're making higher highs every week, but it's just to get to that key support level. Remember this level I talked about yesterday, and that we're sitting on it right now. We're still sitting on it. We still haven't broken really up ahead. And again, I'm not a trader. I'm trying to get long-term positions. So I want to buy a lot. I think we could come back down again before really taking off. So I'm looking at buying down in between these two green lines right here. We break up, really take off, then I'll have to re-examine my plan. But I digress. Who do we got on live? Anybody live? Anybody want to hang out live? 2 people. If that's Dustin and David still, appreciate you guys watching for the whole taping. Fun stuff. Ethereum also really, I mean, we're trying. Man, Ethereum's actually above the, what is it, all 3 lines. The 50, the 100, and the 200-day moving averages. Man, making higher highs every day. On the weekly, yeah, and just looking good, everything. Everything definitely looks like momentum to the upside. But again, look at this. You know, we had momentum to the upside. And then it rolled over and fell down. That's how things work. We could actually roll down even lower. Again, if there's a massive panic, I could see a massive panic happening. Like the one, I don't know, something in my mind tells me there's another big wave of panic coming. People are already in such a state of fear and panic and worry and anxiety, but it's not really, there's another big wave coming. I just feel it. Okay, Ethereum news. Well, you got to go upstairs. Oh, dude, I tell you, you do this on purpose, huh? Because you want to be on TV. Yeah, right, dude. Ethereum smart contract up 75% in almost 2 million in March. 3 ways Ethereum's bullish structure may prevent a Bitcoin downtrend. Yeah, if more money keeps pumping into the market, whether through Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, any of the top 10 to 20, it could be a catalyst for money to just start flowing in. You never know what's going to happen. I'm not here to try to predict the future. I'm just using this chart. I'm just wasting time, and you're just watching time go by with me. XRP, I mean, just real flat. Really, really flat. And actually making lower highs. Let's look at that. Ripple's $1 billion head of XRP markets quiet leap. That's his role. Oh, interesting. With no formal announcement, former CME executive Miguel Valles has quietly left his role as head of XRP markets for Ripple Labs. Ripple looks to have lost its 2nd executive of 2020 after head of XRP markets, Miguel Valles, updated his LinkedIn status to signal the end of his tenure with the company. Bias joined Ripple in late 2016 after a 5-year role as CME Group's global head of precious metals options. In his 3.5 years at Ripple, Bias was in charge of devising a partnership strategy for XRapid and oversaw XRP sales exceeding $1 billion in value. The sudden end of his employment at Ripple was not announced formally by the company, but Bias did not respond to Cointelegraph's request for a comment. Oh, that's interesting. Interesting, but hey, maybe he got the job done and there's nothing more to do. Okay, moving on, Dow Jones. Dow Jones trying to make a recovery. This is just blows my mind. I just don't understand. But again, actually I do understand. And this is a point I wanted to talk about today. As I'm getting ready, I'm thinking about things to talk about on this show. And something I thought about was, why are these markets being manipulated? Because we're talking about trillions of dollars that are being pumped into this market to keep this going up or to maintain the status quo. Because if there's another panic sell-off like right here, and I foresee that happening, okay, there's going to be a run on banks. There's going to be a run on cash. People are going to be running to exit out of their 401ks, their IRAs, their mutual funds, anything that, because here's the thing, you got to understand, if you're watching this right now and you have a 401k, a money market account, a mutual fund, anything like that, you do not have control. You do not control that money. And so if and when there's a massive panic and a run on the dollar, okay, it's going to be hard to get that money out. It's going to be really hard to get that money out because everybody's going to be rushing. And so they don't want to create a panic because they don't know what to do anymore. Central bank, I mean, that's the central bank, the government, I mean, the debt. The debt is so overwhelming. It's about to implode. It's about to implode. That's why they're printing just trillions. Here's $2,000 a month. Just, oh my gosh, we got to keep this thing going. We've got to keep the Ponzi scheme going. And again, if you haven't watched, let's look at this video now. If you haven't watched Mike Maloney's Secrets of Money, man, I'm always gonna list this, man, because this is just, you gotta watch this. In fact, Dustin, if you're watching this right now, buddy, I'm gonna share this. This is what you gotta watch right now, because this is how it all works. This is how the game of money works. And if you understand how it works, then you'll understand it's about to implode on itself. You cannot continue to print these trillions of dollars and go trillions and trillions and trillions of dollars into debt and ever expect to maintain the purchasing power of the dollar. It's impossible. This is just common sense. It's logical. You can go out and do your research. Go watch those videos. It will show you, like, it will educate you at like a kindergartner, because this is kindergarten. It really is. When you understand how it really works, you understand it's very elementary. It's very simple to understand, but they don't teach us this in school. You're getting ripped off in school. They don't teach us this. So you don't understand how it works. And when you don't understand how it works, it can be used against you to manipulate you, and that's it, and it has. But, and I'm not a religious person, but, and I paraphrase a quote from, I think, the Old Testament, is that what was done in the dark is going to come to light. This is greed and manipulation and corruption. This is the epitome of greed and manipulation and corruption. And now it's coming home, but it's going to be painful for a lot of people. Okay, moving on. The U.S. economy has wiped out all of the job gains since the Great Depression. I mentioned this right at the top of the show. The Labor Department reported that the number of Americans applying for state unemployment benefits totaled 4.427 million people last week. Combined with the prior 4 jobless claim reports, the number of Americans who have filed for unemployment over the last 5 weeks is 26.45 million people. That number far exceeds the 22.442 million jobs added to payrolls since November 2009, when the economy began to add jobs back after the recession. So we've now exceeded the number of unemployment people than at the max back in 2009. I would venture to say that consumer credit is taking off. So people are maxing out their credit cards to go buy toilet paper and essentials, food, and necessities of life. So consumer credit's going up. And they're going to start giving you $2,000 a month. That's a big sign of deflation, that the money's becoming invaluable. It's not worth anything. So they're just going to give it to you because it's not worth anything now. Doesn't that make sense when you watch that? When you hear that, it's not worth anything anymore. So they're just going to give it out to anyone to keep you satiated, to keep you docile so that you won't panic and you won't freaking take down the capitals in your state, because it's happening. It's happening. People are starting to, the pressure in the cooker is going up. Oil, though, rebounding since its crash on Monday, 420. We're sitting at 1794. Gold taking off again. That's looking good. Gold's looking really good. Man, will we test? Will we break 1750 an ounce for gold? And silver. Silver's still struggling to make a breakout. Man, silver's really struggling. It's been struggling for a long time. And even, again, in Mike's book, gosh, this show just always unfolds so perfectly. And if you've been watching this, gosh, go ahead and stroke my ego by liking and sharing and commenting. Tell me I've been doing better every show, Oh my gosh, I crack myself up. But go ahead, go and get Mike's book. It's free. It's a free book. I mean, and if you can't afford a free book, then go and watch that video series that I shared with you. Because he'll explain, silver, to me, silver is a way better deal than gold. It's a better investment, I should say, than gold. Because silver is consumed. So there's a lot of silver in this phone that you can't see. Because, the sun is so bright in where I'm at in San Francisco. The sun's so bright that you can't see my phone. But anyways, silver is used as solder in most technologies. Silver is used in the medical industry. Silver is consumed. Gold is hoarded. Gold is really not used in a lot of applications compared to silver. So silver, man, is just it's a phenomenal deal right now. So go and get some. Let's see what Mike's got to say about the news. Confidence in Fed chair hits highest point since Greenspan era. Oh yeah, of course confidence, because man, he's giving you $2,000 a month. IMF launches new dollar emergency liquidity facility. Oh, what is this? Again, like I said, Monday was the end, the death of the petrodollar. And now the IMF, International Monetary Fund, launches new dollar emergency liquidity facility. So this is a facility for just in case the dollar crashes. The International Monetary Fund has launched a new short-term liquidity facility to provide an emergency source of dollars to countries as they deal with the coronavirus. I was wrong. I was off. The short-term liquidity line, or SLL, is the IMF's first new tool for nearly a decade. It may help fill a critical gap in the global financial safety net left by central bank swap lines. I was off. I was wrong. When $8 trillion in global fiscal stimulus isn't enough, as governments dedicate more than $8 trillion to fight the corona pandemic, a further widening in the gap between rich and poor countries threatens to exacerbate the global economy's pain. Wealthy nations have delved deep to cushion the blow. For instance, Germany and Italy have each allocated more than 30% of gross domestic product to direct spending, bank guarantees, and loan and equity injections for a combined $1.84 trillion in aid. Figures from, man, it's all this debt, there's more and more debt. We are in, again, go get the book, watch the video series. We are now in exponential deflation before massive hyperinflation. Once we hit hyperinflation, it's going to be crazy. It talks about it right there. Europe inches toward a $2.2 trillion plan. So this is, oh gosh, dang, this is crazy. Bankruptcy looms over U.S. energy industry from oil fields and pipelines. Oil collapse to worsen China's deflation. Oil, the storm before the really big storm. Ban on Saudi crude won't rescue oil industry. Oh my gosh, just a lot of oil news. Again, you're not going to get any of this on the nightly news. Oh, thanks, dog. Thanks, buddy. Appreciate you, man. Really appreciate you. It's wild out there, guys. It is it's wild out there. You know, and they're not going to talk about this stuff on the evening news, you know, diving deeper in. I mean, this is, it's wild. We are in very interesting times. So now's the time to prepare. That's what me and Dustin talk about a lot is, you know, just preparing. Because there will come a time you've seen, watch this. This is not, people think that this can't happen in America. It's going to happen. Let's see. Hyperinflation. You've heard stories, you know, look at these pictures. This is real. You've heard, you know, the lady that go to wheelbarrows all this money to go get a loaf of bread, goes in to get the loaf of bread, comes out, someone stole the wheelbarrow and left the cash. Because cash becomes trash. Cash is trash right now. It's trash. And you don't want to get caught with your pants down. So if you're someone that has, you know, $10,000 or more in cash, sitting in a bank account, sitting in a low interest bearing money market account, or anything that's, let's say, less than 5%. If you're getting less than 5% return, man, you got to do something with that cash because it's about to get burned up. So look at things that you can hold and control. I'm not telling you, this is just entertainment purposes. I'm not a licensed financial advisor. I'm a dude that talks on the internet, drinks coffee, you know, and hangs out with people. I celebrate 420. Okay? But I'm telling you, there will come a day when people are rushing to get out of their 401k, their IRA, their mutual fund. And when everybody's rushing in, that's when it's too late. So you feel it in the air. A lot of people feel it in the air, but they're still just distracting themselves. Okay? We just got, that panic was a wake-up call. And if you didn't wake up and you don't create a plan and you don't figure it out, you're gonna go to the slaughterhouse with everybody else that didn't listen or didn't pay attention to the call to get your house in order. So now's the time to get your house in order. Gold is a good plan. Silver is a good plan. And I think crypto is a good plan because I see crypto as digital precious metals. What are you two turds doing? Well, guess what? It ain't down here. And I'm on live TV right now. Okay? Live. Oh, no, no. Say, hey, world.
Hi, world.
Okay, get out of here. All right, that's it, man. That's my ranting today. I love you guys, and I want everybody to do well. And so that's why I get on this freaking thing, you know. I mean, I don't want to. It's weird. I don't want to, but I just do it because I really want to help people out. I see something. I saw something 14 years ago. I had a vision. I had visions 14 years ago. And those visions have been playing out. And now it's almost the conclusion of the story that I saw. Shit's about to get crazy. And you've seen the warning. What are you going to do with it? So I hope you're the best. If there's anything I can do to help you, reach out, message me on any platform. See you later tomorrow.